Let's pump in some energy and start our Terminal Groove weekend session. Today we will discuss about Python library pysnmp and its basic usage. It's a complex library to start with as it has tons of features. However, we'll keep it simple and look at how we can use it to retrieve information from our devices on the network. It's available on PyPy, so you can download it through pip, and it has an extensive documentation on GitHub and its site. We'll come back to this. Let's dive into a problem statement first. Our task is to get the versions of all the gateways on our network. The number of gateways are more than 200, so you would not want to do this manually. You would have done this manually either through web interface or SSH. If you would have done this programmatically, you might have chosen netmiko. I've already done a video on that, you can check it out. However, there is also one more option you can go ahead with, and that is Snmp, if Snmp is configured on the device. Snmp is a lightweight protocol and it is way faster than SSH, and that might be the reason that you choose Snmp over netmiko. So let's dive into the code. Snmp library can be imported using the high-level API. The library being complex, the developers have come up with a high-level API which simplifies things for the basic usage. I'm going to import OS as I have few information in the environment. Also, if you're familiar with the OID and MIB concept, then you should already know what information you need to fetch. Because I need to fetch all the versions from all the gateways, I need to know the OID for that. You can get the OID from the vendor site or from other sites on the internet. I've figured out that my OID is this, which would give me the version of the gateways. Stay with me and I will explain you the syntax. Next, what you want to do is you want to run the command in the following manner. Hang tight. I'll explain you the syntax and break it down for you. Now, if I do, you will see that I've got the version of the gateway as 6.4. Now let's break down this code and talk about getcmd command. If you're familiar with Snmp, you might know that we have Snmp Get, Snmp Walk, and few other methods. Over here, we're using Snmp Get. Let's look into the documentation to understand this further. Snmp Get is a method where you pass in the OID and you get the corresponding data from the device. getcmd represents Snmp Get. In this library, getcmd takes in a couple of parameters: Snmp engine, auth data, transport target, context data, variable binds, and other options. Let's look into each of the parameters. Snmp engine. Snmp engine is the central object which controls the other components of this library. To understand further, you can understand Snmp object as the main controlling class, which interacts with other classes. Let's look into community data. Community data is where you pass in the community string configured on the device. You may also pass in USM user data if you have configured Snmp v3 on the device. UDP transport target is where you pass in the IP of the target device. In our case, is the gateway. Context data is used for Snmp v6 and we'll not be using it. Object type is very important because this is where you pass in the OID, which is actually what you want to retrieve from the endpoint. There are a lot of sites on the internet from where you can find what OID you need to pass in to get the corresponding information which you need. One of the sites is OID view. So if you see, they have all the OIDs listed and what does it correspond to. You can use this code, pass in all the gateway IPs, and get the required data and store it somewhere. This can automate a lot of mundane and repetitive tasks. I hope it was helpful and you use it sometime.